Guys, I've got the ARRMA Kraton 8S motor and ESC into the Mojave. So the big block Mojave, and yes, 8S. I'm going to show you guys how to put it in and take it for a test drive. Take a look. This system right here should power this Mojave super easy. I mean, like just a piece of cake, right? So first thing to do, take this cover off. With the cover out of the way, easy access to the motor. Remove that with these two screws right here. They use a 2.5 millimeter hex wrench. Right here, use a 2 millimeter hex wrench. Remove that. The wires are in a loom underneath, so don't yank on those. Take the receiver cover off, and then you can get all your wires out. Stock motor is out, and you're going to have to reuse that motor mount on the new motor. Stock ESC is up, and look, you can't move it very far when you take that loose, so don't yank the ESC off. Got to get that out of the loom underneath. ESC is out, and when you take this out, just go ahead and remove this plate. Don't even bother trying to get the wires out without removing it. Just simply remove the plate, get the wires out, take them out of the receiver, and here you are. With everything out of the way, now we can work on getting this put in. Now, the center diff oil in here, it may be a little bit thin for the power of this motor. We'll just have to find out on that first run. Hopefully I don't blow any tires up. First up is the motor. Pinion gear has to come off and it will need some heat. There is thread lock everywhere. The 8S mount has to come off as well because it does not fit the Mojave motor mount. Also, the heat sink and fan has to come off as well. It will go back in, just a little bit different. You'll see. Both motors side by side, you can see there is quite a bit of size difference to that big Kraton motor right there. Quite a bit. It's gonna make a ton more torque. With the new motor slid in place, you can see there is not much room underneath it. Just a tiny little bit. So we're going to have to be real careful with this right here. That piece right there at the bottom by my ring, that has to go to the bottom. So I'm going to show you guys how to make that work. It fits in there, but this piece right here, see how this hits the heatsink? Right there. That right there has to be trimmed off so you can actually get everything in there. See, even with the largest pinion possible, you're still going to be, pushing up against this, and you don't want that. Now that piece, the way it's up against the bottom down there, actually adds support for those giant landings that we sometimes do, because you're going to have more motor hanging on the mount. You do a hard landing, it's going to try to go down to the chassis. That'll actually give you some support. So right now, I get to cut that piece off. This is what I've got to cut off right here, and I'm just simply going to use the Dremel with eye protection. And there you go. If you do cut this with a Dremel, be very careful. Because, wow, them things move pretty quick, high RPMs, and you're probably not supposed to cut aluminum with a cutoff disc anyway, so be careful. With the motor in place and the pinion gear mashed up, it's really close to the rear outdrive of the center diff. So I'm going to clearance that just a little bit, just to be safe. Trimming complete. Chances are good you may have bent this just a little bit, so it might be a little bit loose. So just bend it back and put it in place. With everything in place, it is time to put this into the truck. And yes, the pinion gear is flipped correctly and ready to go. And here it is. Look at that. The big block is in. The stock ESC is held in with 2 bolts. The Kraton ESC held in with 4, but they don't exactly work on anything. So make sure you secure this really, really well. I'm going to trust it to some 3M VHB tape and hope for the best. There it sits. The wires reach really good. I did have to take the VHB 2-sided tape out and add some shoe glue because I needed the clearance. And also I had to bend that wire back there, right over there, to get some clearance on that. All I gotta do is hook up the receiver wire and I can actually power it up. As far as the drive goes, well, I'm waiting 24 hours to let that glue set. After I did that glue test, I learned a lot. I'll put a link in the description for that glue test in case you're interested. So, hey, we're about to wrap this thing up and get outside. There it is, guys. Now the ESC did shift a little bit with the side piece.
But you know, I wanted to keep those tabs on. I could have had that nice and straight if I cut the tabs, but I wanted to keep the tabs on because you never know. This may go back into the Kraton at some point. You never know. So still got to hook that up. And while that glue is drying, now I get to work on trying to get 8S into this battery compartment. These are what I have for batteries right here. They're not exactly tall batteries for 4S. Now, got some clearance there. The 6S fits perfectly. You put this in here, and now we got to get a little more clearance. Now, yes, I could simply just take that out of the way and stack them up like that, but then I'll have to do some extra securing, I think. You know, because I'd rather, in case I do have a nosedive or something, I want a little bit more something there to hold it. So we're going to try something else. And that something is extending this little slot out to allow that little hook to get up a little bit higher. So here we are. One battery in. And then for the other battery, it goes just barely. Now, if you use thicker 4S's, well, it may not work for you. But that works just like what I want. Now, time to see if these straps work out. There they are. Nice and secure. Just what I wanted. Now, what I've done with this strap, since it's a little bit too short, it's actually underneath this strap, and then that goes onto there, and then this one goes over top to kind of hold that in place. Well, time to button this thing up with the receiver cover and legit get this thing outside. Go ahead and get that speed run in. And I like to do my speed runs with an off-road truck off-road. To me, it makes more sense. Yes, that was a wheelie. Stock system is pretty darn good. Wow, it caught air and actually lifted. That was epic. Let's see what we got this time. You only got 48.6 this time. I believe recently I got a 52, but it's possible the grass may have grown up a little bit and adding a little resistance. Give that a run right there. Let's see if we can bring it up to hard right here. Kind of got off of that a little bit. Let's see what we've got now. Yep. 51.6. That's more in line with what I've got previously with this truck. Let's see what the big motor has on 6S. Stock Kraton pinion gear. Looks a little slow. Where are you at here? Moving along pretty confidently. Definitely a little slower. That 1250 kV is quite a bit less than the 2050 kV of a stock motor. Bet you it runs nice and easy though, that's for sure. Yeah, it looked a little slow. 40.4. Oh well, time to get some 8S in. Time to see what 8S can do with that stock Kraton pinion gear. Very explosive. So windy all of a sudden. Moves pretty darn good. God, I gotta get the camera down out of the wind. Beautiful. Let's see what we got here. 51.5. Pretty darn good. And explosive. We got here. Big pinion. It is windy all of a sudden. Very nice. Let's see what we've got here. We have 46.3. Nice. I like that. Let's see what it's got. Oh, wow. Likes a wheelie. That is moving. Looking good. Wow. I should zoom in, shouldn't I? Wow, this thing runs great like this. $55.6. Hey, that's a good speed. The rest of the driving part of this video is all 8S. I tell you what, this is insane torque. It ain't even putting it all to the ground. See it. Sometimes I wish I would have got the red one. I can't imagine what this thing would do on asphalt. Probably at least 65, I would assume. Wow. It appears they've been digging at the clay. I'm not sure if this is legit or not. I mean, I would have to assume the baseball people would actually have a real way to pick the clay up. Stuck. That dust coming out looked like smoke. I was like, oh man, am I fixing to blow something up? Nope. Wow. It's just instant. This is awesome. Wow. If I was to thicken up that center diff oil, I bet you this thing would do a lot more wheelies. You got to figure now, I've added weight on the motor, the ESC and the batteries. I probably should not jump it. I really should not jump it at all. Oh my God, what a hard hit. And something is definitely turned off. Holy cow, I tried to correct it and it did not correct. I don't see any flames. Looks like just the battery's disconnected. Wow. Connected the batteries, it is ready to go. This is one awesome truck. Wow. So that was a pretty bad jump. Let me try it again from a different angle. I'm at the top. I'm literally, the camera height is probably about 8 feet over the ground, so. Beautiful. Well, looks like I lost a wheel nut. I have been on a nut hunt before with this thing. Well, time to go on a nut hunt. Let's see. Might sound crazy, but you know, you can kind of zoom in and you might can find some stuff. I found the nut. I'm half tempted to do something to that rear diff and make this thing rip some donuts. Man, this thing runs good. I tell you, I really want this to run good with just the 6S, you know, but I want the big power, and really, I might just have to leave it 8S. This thing just runs so good. Oh. Just zoom out a little bit. Awesome. Let's do a quick temperature check. 120, 107 at the fins, 120 down there, ESC, 109, 111, 122, check the pinion gear one out. Oh, pinion gear's at 145, don't touch that. Batteries are 102. You have to give the motor about 120 degrees, ESC about 110. Those are great temps, really. It's about 90 degrees ambient temperature around here too. Runs great.
Guys, this thing should have came with that in it out of the box. I love it. Torque is insane. Motor temperatures, ESC temperatures, they stay nice and cool. The 20-tooth pinion gear brings the speed up close to the stock system on 6S, but on 8S, wow, does it drive great. Guys, in the description are links to everything you need to get for these two trucks right here, and also affiliate links on eBay, Amazon, and AMain. Take a look at those. If you have something in your cart, click a video, click one of my links, go back and pick it up. Gives me a little bit of a commission, and every little bit helps. Guys, hopefully you liked the video, and thank you all for watching.
If you guys like what you see, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. If you really like what you see, consider clicking on that join button down below. With that, you can actually become a channel member. Members get early viewing of many of the videos and, a little bit more personalized. Guys, thank you all for watching.